The wheel strategy is a great options trading strategy, but there's one major risk. And this is when you get assigned a stock and the stock keeps falling. Because in this case, you would make a big loss. And right now, I already own 2 stocks and I might get assigned another 2 stocks tomorrow. Take a look at this. So what now? Am I in trouble? So in this video, I'll show you what I do so that you know what to do if this ever happens to you. So let's talk about the wheel strategy. Just very briefly, in a nutshell, what we do is just 3 easy steps. First, we're selling put options, and by doing so, we're collecting premium. However, if a stock dips below the strike price that we sold, we might get assigned. So, and sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. Step number 3 is when we get assigned, we will sell calls and collect more premium. So all of this sounds good. And it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. I believe this is what my head coach Markus said this morning when we were trading with our mastermind. And if you look at my account right now, you will see, okay, there are 6 positions. So it's a little bit more. Usually I like to trade up to 5 positions. And I already own shares in LVS and I own shares in RIDE. So these 2 are already assigned. And right now you see that AA is ITM in the money and CWH is in the money. And everything looks red. So what do we do in this case? Tomorrow I might get assigned. So, and then I have 4 positions in my account. Is this something where I should panic? I want to show you exactly what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what I'm trading going into the next week. So let's go through this step by step. Let's start with the first one. So the first stock here is AA. Earlier this week, I sold AA puts with a strike price of 35. Now again, they expire tomorrow, so a lot can happen between today and tomorrow, but right now they're trading below my strike price, meaning that it is very likely that I get assigned on this one. Let's take a look at the other one. Then we also have CWH. CWH Camping World, I sold the strike price of $37.50 expiring tomorrow. So if CWH is below $37.50 tomorrow, I will also get assigned here. Just to give an idea, for CWH, I have 27 options. So this would be 2,700 shares. AA that we had on the previous screen, I have 29. So this would be 2,900 shares. Let's take a look at the other ones and then we'll talk about these ones that seem to be in trouble. So JWN is Nordstrom. Nordstrom, I sold the strike price of $32.50. As you can see right now, Nordstrom, JWN is still hanging in there, $33.44 the current price. So I might not get assigned there tomorrow. But hey, I might get assigned if JWN keeps moving lower. LVS is a stock where I have been assigned at 58, so I own shares and I own exactly 1,700 shares at a strike price of 58. And as you can see, today it is trading at 54.29. So what do I do here? Losing money, right? So we need to see what exactly is the plan. Then we also have Penn. There's another one that we traded this week with our mastermind. Penn, we sold the strike price of 79. Right now it is trading at 76.50, but earlier today it was trading at 75.43. So maybe I even get assigned there. And what then? Then I am in what, 6 positions? Last but not least, talk about RIDE, and RIDE is definitely taking us for a wild ride. So originally was assigned at 21.50. Flew a couple of rescue missions. My cost basis is $15.79 right now. The break even is at $14.37 and prices are at $10.33. So I'm also losing money here. So let's talk about what to do. And we start in alphabetical order. We start with AA. And again, between today and tomorrow, a lot of things can happen. But I just want to show you of why I am not panicking just yet. I rarely panic. I mean, you know me, if you're following me on this channel, I have a plan and I want to show you right now what my plan is. And again, my hope is that this will help you if you are in a similar position. So let's go back here. AA. So the strike price is 35 and I might get assigned here. But let's take a look and see of what would happen when I do. Because this is when we move on to step number 2, which is selling calls. See, we have step number 1, which is selling puts, and then we have step number 2, which is selling calls. So this is where I'm using the PowerX calculator to see exactly what I want to do. We'll go back to LVS here in just a moment, but I first want to talk about AA. AA, the stock purchase price, if I'm getting assigned, will be 35. So I will get assigned at $35. I want to look at next week's expiration, since tomorrow on June 18th, I might get assigned. I just want to see how much premium I'm getting. In terms of shares, what did I say? AA, I was trading 29, so this would be 2,900 shares. To start anticipating and making a plan of what could happen next week. So for AA, I'm looking right now, and I see that right now with a strike price of 35 for next week, I could sell calls and would get anywhere between 50 and 56 cents. So we could do this. Now again, since I cannot do it before I'm getting assigned, it might be a few days later. So let's say that by Monday, some time decay has kicked in, and instead of 50 and 56 cents, I might only get 40 cents. Do you think that's reasonable? 40 cents? So let's just plug it into the calculator and see what happens if with a strike price of 35, I'm selling calls. So if I'm getting 40 cents next week, in this case, I would actually make on this one 46% annualized. You see, the total premium for the amount of shares that I'm trading here would be $1,160 in 1 week. That is not bad at all. That is not bad at all, right? So this is very, very cool. I like that idea. See, even if next week I'm only getting 30 cents, even if I'm getting only 30 cents, you will see that I'm making $870 in just 1 week. Overall, the premium annualized is still 35%. So even though today it might look like, I'm getting assigned, you know what they say? If you don't want to own the stock, don't sell puts. And when I say what they say, it's my head coach Mark Hodge and I. Rule number 1 of the Wheel Club: don't sell puts on stocks that you don't want to own. Honestly, if on this one, on AA, next week, I can make $1,000 in the week, do you want to know what my reaction is to getting assigned? Yay! I want to be assigned. And this is the reaction that you should have instead of, I might get assigned. It's like, yes, I get assigned, and next week I can sell premium and I can make $1,000 in a week, because that's not bad at all. Okay, let's take a look at the other one, at CWH, and just start anticipating. And again, of course, I don't know where premiums will be on Monday. I don't know if the stock is bouncing back or if it keeps dropping. Do you need to fly a rescue mission? Of course not. Not at all. Not at all. So let's take a look at CWH. So the assigned price is $37.50 if it stays below $37.50 tomorrow. So let's do the same here. So I might get assigned at $37.50. Again, expiration would be within 1 week, so next week. Shares, let's double check. How many would I get assigned here? So I'm switching over to my account, and there we said 2,700. 2,700 shares. Okay, I'm plugging this in here. The strike price that I want to sell calls at is at the assigned price or higher. But here I want to do it at the assigned price, and let's see what we could possibly get next week. So right now, if we would sell shares at $37.50 right now, we would get what? 60 to 75 cents. Can you see this? So again, shall we be conservative? Let's be conservative, and let's say on Monday, when we are selling actually calls, we only get 40 cents. What do you think about this? Does that sound reasonable? 40 cents instead of right now 60 over 75 cents. I think it's a good estimate. So let's plug it in here. into the calculator and let's say we're getting 40 cents. Again, what you will see here, that with 40 cents, again, it's another $1,000. So wait, $800, $900 here, another $1,000. Just between these two, I can collect around $2,000 in premium in 1 week. And this is where I say, yes, I hope that I get assigned in CW8 because I like to collect $1,000. Here's the deal. When you're trading the wheel, you have to look for stocks that are worth selling puts on, right? And this is where we have the scanner here. And on the scanner, you will see that, yeah, something popped up. So for example, the ones that I liked today was Penn. So Penn is a good stock. And then also X is another good one. These are two that we could possibly trade. For the rest, you see I flagged them either with a red flag or with an orange flag. Wasn't the biggest fan here. Some of them I didn't flag at all because I was only trading this morning with our mastermind members. And after this, I stepped away from the computer. I'm not hypnotizing the market all day long because I don't know about you. The market seems to be pretty unimpressed by my hypnotizing skills. It doesn't do what I want it to do. You have to constantly look for it. The cool thing is when you're assigned, you don't have to worry about this. When you're assigned, you're just selling calls, and usually you can sell calls more aggressively and therefore you're making more premium. Let me just ask you before we move on, is this helpful at all that I'm showing you of why I'm so excited of getting assigned and what I'm planning to do next week if I get assigned? And again, tomorrow we might have a rally and both stocks might be out of the money again, so they might rally up and I will never get assigned, which would be like, I want to get assigned, right? So this is the right attitude when trading the wheel. So let's talk about the next one, JWN. Well, JWN, that's probably not going to happen that I'm getting assigned here. So switching over to the iPad. Again, right now we're still trading $1 above this, but even if I get assigned, again, I can collect premium. See, this is the beautiful thing about the wheel strategy. So step number one is you sell puts and you're collecting premium. And then number two, you might or might not get assigned. And then in step number three, you're selling calls. And when you're selling calls, this is when, again, you're collecting money. And here's the deal. This is the important thing that most beginner traders don't understand. For me, as a professional trader, for me, as I make a living trading, right, it doesn't matter whether I collect these dollars or I collect these dollars. As long as I collect dollars, I don't care which way it goes, okay? Let's take a look at the other one. So we talked about JWN. Let's move on to LVS. So LVS is interesting because I do own 1,700 shares at $5,800. Now, first of all, over the past few weeks, I have been able to sell calls several times. And by selling calls several times on LVS, I have collected, you see it here, around $5,300 in premium. So that's not bad at all. I already have collected $5,300 in premium. There we go. But let's take a look at this right now. So this is why we go back to the PowerX Optimizer. We enter LVS for next week's expiration. Let me just show you. So for next week's expiration, I have 1,700 shares at a strike price of 58. And now let's see how much premium we can get right now for this and whether it makes sense to sell calls against this existing position. So we go to LVS, we look at next week's calls at the 58, and you see right now we're getting 14 over 16 cents. So let's say we would get 15 cents. And this is where we are going back and plugging this in here and say, okay, right now we can only get 15 cents. And you see, this is where the cool thing is. Right now, PowerX Optimizer tells us that would only make 10% annualized, right? So it would only make $255. Now you might say $255 is better than nothing, but here is what I think. I think I'll just look at it and say, you know what, if this just has a little pop, and today it did have a little pop. See, today it popped up as high as 55.60. And that was a little bit aggressive. I wanted to sell this week's premium. Should have gone to next week because then I would have been able to do this on the pop. So we'll just see. I mean, as you know, yesterday we had the Fed meeting. So right now there's a lot of confusion in the market. If you look at overall what the markets are doing right now, we see that here the Dow is slightly down for the day. The S&P is pretty much flat, and the Nasdaq is actually gaining 1.5%. So growth stocks are right now outperforming value stocks, which is fine. The sentiment can change again next week. So right now here with this one, I'm waiting to get more premium. Let's see, what else do we have? What other positions do we have here? Penn, we already talked about this. So Penn, the strike price is 75. Yeah, I can get rid of this order because I don't want to. I can cancel this order right now and just let it expire worthless. This way I'm making a little bit more money. And then of course we have Ride here. And Ride, I mean, we've been talking about this several times. My break even right now is $14.37. So this means that I probably shouldn't sell calls that are way below my break even. So it might make sense to sell calls at a strike price of 14, or maybe even going a little bit higher at 14.50. And again, this is where we're going back to the calculator and see, okay, what happens here if we go to the calculator. We're entering Ride as a ticker. So Ride, the stock purchase price. Well, the purchase price actually originally was $21.50. Then I lowered my cost basis to $15.79. So right now I could just say it is $14.39, right? I mean, this is my break-even price. Expiration, if you go to next week, I have 10,000 shares here of Ride. So if you go to a strike price, let's just see, of 14. So this means if you have a strike price of 14, let me just show you here. On the stock, I would lose $3,900, right? Because I'm getting called away at 14 and my break even is at 14.39. So I lose $13,900. However, as you recall, if you have been watching me, you know that I already made $15,284 in premium. So even if I did that right now, if I'm losing around $4,000, and I made already $15,000 in premium, a little bit more here, $15,284. So this means it leaves me with a profit of $11,000, even if I'm selling the 14 call. But let's just see if there's enough premium in there in the 14 call for next week to make it worth my while. Oh, the 14 call right now disappeared. So let's just say the 1350, why not? Let's take a look at the 1350. So it probably gets like what? 21 cents, 22 cents, you get the idea. So let's jump back on the iPad onto the calculator and say, okay, so for next week, for the 14.21 cents, actually for the 1350, okay. So that's not bad at all. Did I do this right? Because that's not bad. Maybe I will go even to the 15. Because let me just show you something. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool that I can show you this. So I have two possibilities here. So if it is at 14.39, my break even 25th, I have 10,000 shares here. The strike price, let's just go with the 15. The premium here would be 10 cents. That's not bad at all. It's not bad at all for next week. Okay, see? So in this case, if I would sell, and right now for the 15, I could easily get 10 cents, right? So if I do that, I would make $6,100 on the shares plus an additional $1,000 in premium. So that's not bad. Here's one of the reasons why today I'm holding out on Ride a little bit. Since I own this stock, I've become an expert on Ride. Don't want to be an expert on Lordstown Motors, but you see, when you own the stock, you want to make sure that you know what's going on with the company. So, you know, a lot of things have been going on. The Hindenburg report were accusing them of fake orders. Then it seemed that they were running out of cash. They had to restate something. In the filing, they said that they had an ongoing concern. All of these stuff. So it all was really, really bad news. And this is what was driving Lordstown lower. Then on Monday, the CEO and the CFO resigned. So this happened on Monday. This is why on Monday, the stock at first said, that's not good at all. So this here is Monday where you have this down. Then the interim CEO, Angela Strand, and I believe it was the president, they gave an interview on Tuesday, they said, you know what, we're actually doing good. We have enough orders so that we can go through 2021 easily and 2022 as well. So we have plenty of orders. This is why the stock went higher and went as high as $11. Then this morning they actually announced that they bring on a new vice president, and the vice president is coming from GM. So lots of experience in the automotive industry, and that was actually good news, but it also turned out that they had to do another filing today where they said, you know what, on Tuesday when we said that we have enough orders, let's rephrase this. All of these orders are not binding orders. So anyhow, this is why there's lots of confusion. And if you look at RIDE today, I mean, this puppy has just a wild swing. So today we went from 10.03 to 11.07. That is a $1 swing. On a $10 stock, that is 10%. So that's quite a lot, especially if you look at the ADR, the average daily range of the last 7 days. So on average, Lordstown Motors is moving $1.50 per day. So that's a lot. And it's reflected in the premiums. See, the premiums are 185% here, implied volatility. So it's a lot. Why am I not selling today? Because I do believe that there is a possibility, a very strong possibility, that maybe tomorrow or on Monday, it is quickly jumping up to either 11 again or even to 12. And when this happens, instead of collecting $1,000 in premium, I'm pretty sure that I can collect $2,000 in premium. Long story short, here with the, one bird in the hand and two birds in the bush, right now I'm going with two birds in the bush. This stock is so volatile, I believe that there's a good chance that it might pop up here. I just wanted to show you today what I'm doing right now if I would get assigned with these two stocks. And what I would do is, yes, sell call premiums. My goal is every week to make around $3,500. And if I can already collect on these two stocks that I'm getting assigned to, if I can collect $2,000, I'll take this. I'm already halfway there. I don't have to do much, right? So that's the cool thing.